write an IEP. The teacher says use print because your child can see.
Equipment is too big
and large print is too rare. And 15 words a minute will not get you anywhere. Oh, Braille is here, Braille is here, Braille is here to stay. We will keep on using it, we don't care what you say. Braille is here, Braille is here, we will sing its praise. It's the system for the blind to get a job that pays. They say that Braille's too tough to teach the newly blind. Its codes and its contractions discombobulate the mind.
Contractions we've learned all, and codes we've mastered too. For blindness has no negative effect on our IQ.
Oh, Braille is here, Braille is here, Braille is here to stay. We will keep on using it, we don't care what you say. Braille is here, Braille is here, we will sing its praise. It's the system for the blind to get a job that pays.
They say that Braille's complex, they say that it's too slow. They say that new technology's the only way to go.
But we'll keep using Braille because it is the key to making sure that blind folks will be literate and free. Oh, Braille is here, Braille is here, Braille is here to stay. We will keep on using it, we don't care what you say. Braille is here, Braille is here, we will sing its praise. It's the system for the blind to get a job that pays.
Na 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 na. Go on and live your life, don't need a bit of sight. In the end you'll find Braille is beautiful. Put your fingers on the page, take your friends, it's all the rage. It's all gonna be okay. Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Louis Braille was his name. Blatant stylist was his game. They tried to stop him, but we adopted the code that paved the way. Go on and live your life, don't need a bit of sight. In the end you'll find Braille is beautiful. Put your fingers on the page, tell your friends it's all the rage. It's all gonna be okay. Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Go on and live your life, don't need a bit of sight. In the end you'll find Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Braille is beautiful. Na 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 na. Braille is beautiful.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We will be beginning promptly tonight at 8 p.m. We're so glad that all of you are here with us. Happy New Year. Just a few reminders, you can send questions through our Q&A section on any of the social media channels or to cdanielson@nfb.org. Along with our closed captions in Zoom, we are also using the captioning feature OneCap app that can be used for captions at your own pace. We'll also add a link to the chat, which is available on the mobile app and on the web. For our Spanish translation this evening, we are utilizing the Zoom interpretation feature, and I will turn it over to Danny Martinez to share how to access that. And we will come back to Danny in a moment after our next song. But while we, just to remind everybody tonight, we have in honor of Louis Braille's birthday and World Braille Day, a couple polls involving Braille, asking when you learned Braille or if you're still thinking about it. And also our other poll involving Braille asks, what do you love most about Braille? So please take part in our polls tonight. Thank you, everyone. We'll start shortly.
That hand still extended out the window. He gives a big wave now to the cameramen that are down there.
You got some mail, you gotta read. KNFB readers all you need. No need for blues, we got your news. Newsline is a tool that you can use. If you need a little cash, the ATM can talk back. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Anything is possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology. You want to learn? Go take a class. Don't matter if it's English or it's math. Technology just needs to be accessible so that we can achieve. Teach, act, got it all. Gonna bring it in law. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Anything is possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Voting machines. Accessible technology. Touch screens. Anything is possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology.
Read it in the sunshine, standing in the lunch line, undercover after bedtime. It's Braille, 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 Braille. Mark a memo on your hairline, slap a slogan on your bow tie, leave a label on your backside. It's Braille, 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 Braille. Grab your stylus and your slate. Come on, let's communicate that Louis attempt it with your big toe. Don't you do it with your tongue, though. It's Braille, Braille, Braille. Braille, Braille, Braille. Braille, Braille, Braille.
Good evening, everybody. We'll be starting promptly at 8. We're so glad that all of you are here with us this evening. Please take part in our polls, both about Braille and celebration of World Braille Day today. Also, you can submit questions through our Q&A feature or to cdanielson@nfb.org. We are using the Zoom interpretation feature tonight for our Spanish translation, and we will put the information in the chat so everyone can access it. Thank you so much, and we'll be starting shortly.
Sometimes people tell me blind people should be quiet and sit down. But I say no, I say no, I say no. They contend that I should be content to let others lead me around. But I say no, I say no, I say no. Everybody needs somebody to help sometimes, but I'm in charge of me. I've got to strive, strive, strive. A little harder, reach, reach, reach. A little longer, work, work, work. A little harder, hope, hope, hope. A little stronger, watch me, watch me, watch me. Nothing's gonna stop me, stop me, stop me. I'm spreading my wings, soaring on a dream. I can do anything. I've gotta be brave, even when I'm afraid to do hard things. I'll tell myself, go, I'll just go, I will go. I'm not a fool, I need training and tools to live out my dreams. So I'll say go, I'll just go, I will go. I'm not a passenger in my life. I'm gonna take control and drive. I gotta strive, strive, strive. A little farther, reach, reach, reach. A little longer, work, work, work. A little harder, hope, hope, hope. A little stronger, watch me, watch me, watch me. Nothing's gonna stop me, stop me, stop me. I'm spreading my wings, soaring on a dream. I can do anything.
We know who we are and what we must do. We are organized, confident, prepared for what lies ahead. And no force on earth can turn us back. Our words, our thoughts, and our dreams reach for a tomorrow which is bright with promise. And the heart of that promise is the individual determination of each of us and the unshakable power of our vehicle for collective action, the National Federation of the Blind.
I gotta strive, strive, strive. A little farther, reach, reach, reach. A little longer, work, work, work. A little harder, hope, hope, hope. A little stronger, strive, strive, strive. A little farther, reach, reach, reach. A little longer, work, 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 work. A little harder, hope, hope, hope. A little stronger, watch watch me, watch me, watch me. Nothing's gonna stop me. I'm spreading my wings, soaring on a dream. I can do anything.
Live the life you want, nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine, we got good news. You can live the life you want, yes, we know the truth. Grab a cane, get trained, gotta get moving. Make a change and a wage, that's what we're doing. Come with me, yeah. Live the life you want, nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine, we got good news. You can live the life you want, yes, we know the truth. You and me and it be, let's dream together. And it be you and me, lives on forever. You will see, yeah. Live the life you want, nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine, we got good news. Live the life you want, yes, we know the truth. Live the life we want, yes, we know the truth. You know the truth.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Happy New Year. We're so glad that you could join us this evening for our presidential release. Before we get started, just a reminder that we are doing Zoom interpretation through the Spanish interpretation through Zoom, and we have a quick announcement concerning our Spanish interpretation, if Danny is available. Okay, my apologies. We are having a few technical difficulties, but we have the information in the chat. So to make sure that everyone can access, we also remind everyone that we have closed captioning in through the OneCap app as well. So we are so glad that all of you are here with us tonight. Welcome. And I encourage everyone to participate in our polls concerning World Braille Day. And it is now my pleasure to introduce for his remarks this evening, President Mark Riccobono.
Thank you very much, Pam. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, should we get started?
Sounds great.
Okay, 2021. Greetings, fellow Federationists. This is Monday, January 4, 2021, and this is Presidential Release number 501. Happy New Year, fellow Federationists, and happy World Braille Day. It is so great to be back together with each and every one of you on this release. I have a handful of announcements to share with you today, and then I want to spend some significant time discussing some really important priorities of the Federation for 2021. Then, of course, I'll share some Federation family news with you, and then we'll get into hopefully some time for some questions, and of course we will have the customary endings. First of all, special announcement from our Independence Market for this week of World Braille Day, the week of. The Independence Market will be offering a special deal on the Louis Braille Bicentennial Silver Dollar. It will be offered at a reduced price for this week only of $50 plus shipping and handling. Buy as many as you want. This commemorative silver dollar was minted by the United States government thanks to the work of the National Federation of the Blind. It was minted in 2009 and the mint has not sold it since then. And you can get it from our market in honor of Louis Braille's birthday this year. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. Also, our Independence Market staff want you to know that throughout the month of January, there are a number of other items on sale, including camera bags, cube clocks, egg separators, and monoculars. Also, you should know that the NFB face masks are back in stock. You can get the masks, which are a medium blue color with the NFB logo in the center. You can get them from our market. The price is $4 per mask or 3 masks for $10. The market will be having special sales every month during this year. So you should stay tuned for the special products promotions coming from the market on a monthly basis. To order, you can call the Independence Market at our main number, 410-659-9314, extension 2216, or you can email independencemarket@nfb.org. We do hope our e-commerce system will be up and running again very soon. I hope to have information on a presidential release in the near future. I also want to start the year by thanking each and every one of you who helped us match our more than ever gift contribution from Freedom Scientific. We once again matched Freedom Scientific's $50,000 before the end of the year. And so we were able to secure that funding thanks to the generous contributions of many of you out there. We don't have a total dollar amount that we raised at the end of the year to match these funds, but we're confident we matched them and then some. So thank you again to Freedom Scientific, Vespero, and to Tom Tiernan, their CEO, and to all the staff there for their commitment to the work of the National Federation of the Blind. And thank you to all of you who helped us match both the Vespero gifts at the end of the year, totaling $100,000. Patty Chang, who's our Director of Outreach, wants me to remind you about our Dream Maker Circle. And if you missed joining the Dream Maker Circle in 2020, 2021 is a good year to get it done. Our Dream Maker Circle is a way for you to pledge an end-of-life gift to the legacy of the National Federation of the Blind and to continue your commitment to our organization. Depending on your circumstances, this can be done quite quickly in less than 30 minutes, and it can often be done at no cost. Feel free to reach out to Patty here at our national office to talk with her about how you can best contribute to the Dream Maker Circle. You can reach her at our main number at extension 2422, or you can email her at chang@nfb.org. Now, this being January, we're getting ready for our Washington seminar, and our great gathering in will be happening on Monday, February 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and all of you will be able to participate because it will be virtualized through Zoom. So mark 5 p.m. Eastern Time, February 8th, 35 days from now on your calendar. You'll want to be part of the kickoff of our 2021 Washington seminar. There'll be a number of other meetings happening in conjunction with the Washington seminar, and you should reach out to your state affiliate if you want to learn about how to be involved in the meetings with members of Congress. Also, we will have a number of meetings happening this month to get members ready for the Washington seminar, so watch the listservs for information about that. I want to talk to you about the Department of Transportation, which issued a final rule for travelers who are traveling via air with service animals. On December 10, 2020, the Department of Transportation released the final rule pertaining to air travelers using service animals. It goes into effect on January 11, 2021. The rule permits airlines to require passengers to complete the DOT Service Animal Air Transportation Form. We have been doing quite a bit of advocacy work around this form, including giving the Department of Transportation extensive feedback on the accessibility, or maybe I should say the inaccessibility of this form that they have proposed. On December 22nd, 2020, the National Federation of the Blind issued an open letter to all airlines urging them not to require the form. It is optional for airlines. I want to commend Raul Gallegos, president of our National Association of Guide Dog Users, for his leadership and advocacy on this issue. We're going to continue to work on this issue. I know Raul is continuing to engage with the Department of Transportation around this, and you should watch for further announcements from our national division. There will be many more events and activities to talk about on the release going forward. We have a busy year ahead, no doubt about that, and a very hopeful and forward-looking year. One thing you're probably wondering about, speaking of events, is our national convention, which is coming up in July. A lot of folks keep asking what's happening with the National Convention. We've been watching the situation very closely, and the National Board has not yet made a final decision about the convention, but it's my belief that it is extremely, extremely likely that we will be having a virtual convention this summer, as disappointing as that is. We haven't made the final decision, but I think you should mentally prepare yourselves for a virtual convention. As much as we would like to be together in person, we've been carefully monitoring all the situations and factors, and I'm guessing that's going to be likely, but no decision's been made yet. I want to spend some time on this release talking to you about our priorities for 2021 in the National Federation of the Blind. Now, many of you know that I grew up in the great state of Wisconsin, where the motto of the state is forward. One word, very simple. And I've adopted that as our Federation motto for 2021. I sometimes tell people forward Federation. Now, Wisconsin adopted the motto forward to indicate its innovative spirit, its intention to lead. And in the National Federation of the Blind, innovation is one of our core personality traits. And we emphasize leadership in our organization and the development of leaders. Sometimes leadership means that you need to take a step back and reevaluate and reset our goals and priorities and our focus. And that's something I want to talk to you about tonight in terms of our 2021 priorities. And many of you may or may not know that in the last month or so, there's been a significant conversation, especially in social media, about sexual assault and misconduct within the blindness community. And a lot of that conversation has been focused on activities within the National Federation of the Blind. And that, of course, is a primary concern for us as members, as leaders of this movement. Although we established our code of conduct 3 Januaries ago, we recognize that there's a lot more work to do. 2018 was only the beginning of our efforts to really ramp up what we need to do in this movement. And our commitment for 2021 is to do even better, to accelerate our progress at a significant rate. We want the National Federation of the Blind to be a safe and healthy space for all blind people, for our families, for our friends. And that includes our 3 affiliated training centers. Between now and the National Convention, we are going to be pouring significant efforts into increasing our safety and respect for all members within this organization. And it's going to mean we're going to have some hard discussions about how we move forward and also where we've been. On December 16th, I published an open letter that details some of the immediate actions that we're thinking about and how we're going to move forward. I also detailed my personal regret and commitment that I haven't always done as much as I could do. You can read that open letter in the January Braille Monitor, as well as the revision to the Code of Conduct that the Board of Directors adopted in its fall meeting early in December. But that's just the beginning. We're kicking off 2021 with some additional announcements, specific actions that we're taking starting this evening to accelerate this work in the National Federation of the Blind. And it's going to take each and every one of us to make this happen, to achieve what we want in moving forward. So first, I'm really happy to announce that we have established a partnership with RAIN. RAIN is the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. And the purpose of this partnership is to assist us in furthering a safe, inclusive, and welcoming culture free of sexual misconduct as part of all NFB programs and activities. You can visit RAIN's website. By the way, it's RAINN. You can visit their website at rain.org. And by the way, you should be aware, if you need it, they have a national sexual assault helpline, which you can reach at any time you need it. It's free to anybody. You can reach that by calling 1-800-656-HOPE. Our work with RAIN is initially going to include 2 important phases. And that work is going to be kicking off this month. We're having the kickoff meeting here in a couple of days. Phase 1 is going to be to create and conduct a mandatory training program regarding sexual violence and misconduct for staff, volunteers, and leadership within the organization. Now, we're a big organization. We have a lot of members, so we have to start somewhere. And in March of this year, we're going to start with all of the boards of our state affiliates, our national divisions, all of the staff at our national office, all of the staffs at our affiliated training centers, as well as the students at those training centers. And that'll just be the beginning. We're very excited about this relationship with RAIN and about the training. And we're eager to find out how we're going to sustain this training going forward for the thousands of members within our organization and those members to come. The second thing that we're going to do most immediately with RAIN is review and augment the NFB's Code of Conduct to include the strongest possible policies, practices aimed at preventing sexual misconduct and assault within our organization. We're relying on RAIN's expertise to assist us in identifying the best practices and incorporating them directly into our code of conduct. And we plan to do that very quickly before our national convention. We'll also be devising ongoing training and resources in collaboration with RAIN and their expertise, their nationwide leading expertise in these areas. Where we know blindness, they know sexual assault and violence prevention, and we're going to be identifying through their expertise how we're going to sustain these efforts and what we need to do after the national convention. I certainly expect, just on my limited dealings so far with RAIN, that this relationship will continue well into the future and that we will continue to innovate with their guidance, how we make our organization an example of a safe and healthy space, free of sexual misconduct and assault. That's one thing. And that effort is starting, well, really today. And we're going to need all of you to help with those efforts and guide those efforts as RAIN gives us their expertise and best practices in these difficult subjects. There's one other thing, though, that we're doing this evening, starting this evening, that is an important part of this conversation. Tonight, we are launching a survivor-led task force as part of our efforts to implement a sustainable, positive culture change within the National Federation of the Blind. We've been waiting to announce this evening because we wanted to make sure that we had a wide audience to talk to about this, and that our task force was ready to start receiving information as soon as possible. Our task force, as I've said, is going to be entirely led by survivors and is going to serve as an intermediate advisory team to the National Federation of the Blind, leaders, members, and third-party partners. And that will be in place until we find more long-term solutions. We've set the timeline for the initial work of the task force through the National Convention, and based on its recommendations, it may continue after that, or there may be some other new sustainable system for survivors within our organization to find support and relief. The task force has a number of charges working with the leadership of the National Federation of the Blind. And the task force is truly meant to represent the voice of survivors in every aspect of this work going forward. This task force is led by 6 Federation members who are survivors and who are dedicated to making the Federation the safest and best place it can be for all blind people. They will provide a safe space for survivors to give input, to share information and stories, to assist in developing aspects of our work going forward. They will also make recommendations alongside RAIN and our other efforts to make sure that we can develop sustainable long-term structures through the Federation, both to support survivors and to have a misconduct-free zone within our organization, throughout our organization. I and other leaders of the Federation will meet with the task force as often as they want, and we've already agreed to meet at least on a weekly basis. And survivors will lead this change for us at every step of the way. as we build our relationship with RAIN and we make progress down this road, I expect that the voice of survivors will come through because of these 6 individuals and their coordination of efforts for our organization. And I really want to extend my appreciation to them for stepping up to help lead this effort and make sure that it is survivor-led. The task force includes these 6 members at the moment: Marcy Carpenter of Washington, Catherine Webster of Virginia, Sarah Meyer of Indiana, Cheryl Fields of Ohio, Daphne Mitchell of New Mexico, and Briley O'Connor of Minnesota. And again, thank you to these 6 ladies for their tremendous dedication and commitment to put themselves out there to coordinate this work. It will not be easy. It will be demanding. And I have already appreciated their guidance and expertise in really protecting the voice and amplifying the voice of survivors within our organization. Now, where can you find more information about this? Well, you can go right now to nfb.org/survivors and find the initial announcement. You can send an email to survivors@nfb.org. And at any time, you can call our main number here, 410-659-9314, and dial extension 2238 to leave a voicemail, and one of our task force members will get back to you. You can use any of these methods to share your ideas. If you need support, you can reach out to this group for help. If you just want to talk about these culture change efforts and what it means for the National Federation of the Blind and what your perspective is, reach out to them. And they will be advising me and other Federation leaders about what else we need to do. I certainly expect that this is only the beginning of the tremendous efforts that they will guide us toward in 2021. Now, these are 2 big and important actions, but they're not the only actions. They're the ones we're taking to start 2021. I cannot emphasize enough, it is going to take all of us in this movement to do this, to do it right, to do it in a way that leads not just the blindness field, but every field. The National Federation of the Blind has taken every challenge and has tried to exceed expectations. That's what we're going to do here. And we're going to do it led by survivors within our organization. And I'm really proud of those individuals who have come forward to share their stories and who have pushed us to be better within this movement. Every chapter meeting, convention, training, seminar, educational program, and enrichment opportunity offered by the National Federation of the Blind needs to be safe and welcoming to all. And that's our big goal. And we're not going to meet it in 2021. It's going to take a longer time than that. But we're going to charge as confidently as we can toward it during this year. Now, we're going to have to do some other things as well, but that's priority number 1. I also want to note that we will be continuing to work on our broader diversity and inclusion efforts. We've hired a staff member here at the national office to help us increase our diversity and inclusion efforts. We will be continuing to find new ways to accelerate the pipeline of individuals from diverse perspectives to get into elected positions within the Federation and to help shape our organization. Our board has developed an accessibility policy for affiliates that's consistent with our national accessibility policy to make sure that each and every one of our affiliates is doing everything it can to be fully inclusive to all blind people. And we will be building training and resources to assist affiliates in effectively implementing those accessibility practices. We will be continuing in this effort to be led by our Committee on Diversity and Inclusion. You can reach the committee by sending an email to diversity@nfb.org. The committee continues to coordinate around priorities and find ways to open up new spaces to improve diversity within our movement and advance those often difficult conversations. I talked to Sean Calloway, one of the co-chairs of the committee, just moments before the release, and he wanted me also to note for you that the committee will be having an open meeting where everybody can listen in, whether you're a member of the committee, appointed to the committee or not. That open meeting will be happening in March. I'm sure more information will be hitting our listservs. And in both of these areas, of course, you don't have to be a member of the task force or appointed to the Committee on Diversity and Inclusion at the national level. These issues belong to all of us. We need to help be part of the solutions, the change, and the action that happens within our organization. So please share your ideas, get involved. And one last note about both these priorities. In many June releases, I have talked about the priority of membership. And both of these are membership-driven developments. They're essential to developing our membership and growing this movement in a way that we want going forward, in a way that blind people demand of us going forward. And so these are two priorities for our membership efforts for 2021. And I invite you, ask you, encourage you to please get involved with them because we need you. Now, there are some other priorities that I could talk about. I've taken a lot of time already. I do want to note that we will be continuing to expand our right to live in the world by continuing our advocacy work in the 117th Congress, which has recently been sworn in the new administration that's coming in 16 days. We will be aggressively seeking opportunities to advance the Federation's agenda to empower blind people and to create opportunities for us to take charge of our own lives, to have the equal rights in all aspects of society. And 2021 is an important time for us to increase our engagement in those areas. You know, we did a great job pushing voting in 2020, but it wasn't enough. We didn't have accessibility in enough places. And 2021 is going to be an important year for getting states on board for the next major elections. And it's not just that. It's protecting the rights of blind parents, where we still need state laws to protect blind parents and blind caregivers, improving services in so many areas, making sure that the voice of blind people is included is so critical. And we have already done great work in 2020 on a number of things. We're going to continue that in 2021. I do want to, though, congratulate and thank the members of the Federation who worked on getting our blind Randolph-Shepherd vendors some relief. The most recent COVID legislation that was passed and ultimately signed by the president included a $20 million appropriation for our blind vendors. And I should say this relief bill, thanks to Congress and the work of our advocates across the country, is going to provide relief to blind entrepreneurs who have simply been sidelined because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And each and every one of you helped make that happen, make it a priority to support these entrepreneurs that were shut out of so many other programs. So thank you on behalf of our blind merchants. And I know that our efforts to engage in advocacy and legislation at the big levels, like federal legislation and in individual efforts will make a big difference in 2021. I do want to give you a few Federation family notes to close out this portion of the release, and I regret to have to let you know about a number of members that we lost at the end of 2020, and so I'd invite you to keep them all in your thoughts and prayers this evening. In early December, we lost Gail Cephas, I believe is how you say her last name, to COVID-19. She was a member of the National Federation of the Blind of the District of Columbia. On December 5th, Monica Meadows also passed away of pneumonia and COVID. Monica was a member of the National Federation of the Blind of Georgia, Atlanta Metro chapter. She was a member for over 15 years and had become a lifetime member of the state affiliate about 10 years ago. On December 6th, Stuart McLean, a longtime member of the Mecklenburg chapter of the Federation who had recently moved to Tennessee, passed away. On December 15th, Jean Faulkner, a longtime member and the president of the Greater Cumberland chapter of the National Federation of the Blind of Maryland, passed away. Jean was 78. In the early part of this year, just a few days ago, we received a note from Ryan Strunk, who's president of the NFB of Minnesota, reporting the passing of longtime Federation leader Joyce Scanlon, who passed away from heart failure. Joyce first became active in our Minnesota affiliate in 1970. She served as president of the affiliate from 1973 through 2007. She served for a long time as a member of our national board and for many years served as our first vice president. Joyce led the charge to establish Blindness Learning in New Dimensions, Blind Incorporated, and served as its executive director from its founding in 1986 until her retirement in 2003. I think I first met Joyce when she was national representative to the NFB of Wisconsin convention in 1999. And her impact on me as a up-and-coming Federation member and leader has been long-lasting, as I know it has been for so many people in Minnesota and beyond, and certainly for the students at our training center in Minnesota. So I'd encourage you to keep her husband, Tom, also a longtime leader of the Federation, and all those who loved Joyce and these other members of the Federation in your thoughts and prayers, and show appreciation for the tremendous legacy they have left us with. I do have one joyful piece of news here at the end of this portion of the release, and that is to say that Mason Sawyer East was born on December 10th, weighing 8 pounds and 4 ounces and measuring 21.25 inches long. The first-time proud parents of Mason are David and Angie East, members of the Jefferson City, Missouri chapter of the National Federation of the Blind. I'm told everybody is doing well, and so we want to send congratulations to the new proud parents and welcome Mason as the newest member of the National Federation of the Blind. Pam, I think those are the things I had to talk about on this release. I'm going to send it back over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, President Riccobono. And before we get into our questions this evening, I want to share the results of our poll. Our poll asked at how old you were when you learned Braille, and 35% of our participants learned Braille between the ages of 1 and 10. 14% learned it between the ages of 11 and 20. 14% also between 21 and 30. 8% between 31 and 40. For those 40 and over, 13%. And 16% are still thinking about learning Braille. So thanks to everyone for participating in our poll tonight. We had a minor technical glitch with our second poll, so we will save that for another opportunity, but thanks to everyone for participating. And just, I appreciate everyone for sending in questions this evening. Again, you can submit questions through the Q&A feature available on the web or in the app. You can also email C. Danielson, that's CDANIELSEN at nfb.org if you have a question. And thank you again for everyone who is submitting questions. Now, our first question tonight, President Riccobono, is related to our World Braille Day. And since it's significant, we've had several questions come up concerning our Braille certification training program. So I wondered if you could share some information about that.
Well, Pam, it's a great question, and it's a program that I know we have been leading for 14 years. I know because the kickoff meeting for our work in the National Federation of the Blind on that project happened on December 13th, 2006. I missed the kickoff meeting because my son Austin was born that day. But someone who was at the meeting and really leads this effort for us, I think is best to answer that question. And so I've asked her to come on the release here to do that. That's Jennifer Dunham. She's manager of this program for us. And so Jennifer, could you give us a quick overview about the Braille Transcription Certification Program?
Thanks, President Riccobono. I would be happy to. Braille literacy is such a key predictor of success in so many arenas. And so the National Federation of the Blind has been really proud to operate the courses that lead to certification for Braille transcribers and Braille proofreaders. We operate these courses under a contract with the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. And we've done that for about 14 years, as President Riccobono said. The courses have been offered by NLS in some form and fashion since the 1930s or so. Our role in the process of the certification is to take people through the courses that teach them how to transcribe and proofread Braille. And once a student has met all of the course requirements, then we send that name on to NLS for certification. So before I really talk about specifics, I want to say that the courses can be taken by people who are sighted or people who are blind. A person who's fluent at reading print does not need to have any prior knowledge of Braille when they start, because the course starts at the very beginning of Braille. The successful student who doesn't use print will need fluency in Braille to read all the sort of nuances of the course exercises. But above everything, the people who successfully achieve certification are those who pay attention to the little details and that are self-motivated and that are patient, because it's not something you can really rush through, and who are really interested in getting all the details right. Because the end goal of the certification is to support literacy through producing Braille that is accurate and complete, so that the Braille reader has the same access to information as a print reader who is reading the same material. And that's the case whether the Braille is being read on paper or through a Braille display. People sometimes say, why do we need all these transcribers and such when we have Braille software and I can hook my phone up to my Braille display and get Braille? Well, transcribers and those who produce Braille use these computerized tools to help kind of speed that work up, but they add value by correcting some of the tricky errors and things that the software makes, and especially making sure that if there's content displayed in pictures, charts, or diagrams and tests and all that all of that gets rendered in a way that's complete and understandable if the info is being read in a tactile manner. So there are several certificates a person could obtain. To get a credential for for transcribing print into Braille, there's the foundational course in transcribing, which is kind of the prerequisite to the rest of it. And then once a person gets that, they could go on to become a transcriber of math or music. If someone's not interested in transcribing but wants to check the work of transcribers, then they can achieve certification as a proofreader. And after that, if they have mathematical leanings, they can go on to become a math proofreader. The course requirements are completed either by email or in some cases, paper mail as well. All the course materials are free to download for anyone, whether you're enrolled or not. But if a person meets the eligibility and wants to enroll in the courses to work with one of our fantastic course instructors, they should submit an application to do that. And the applications and all the course material and a lot of other information can be found at nfb.org/transcribers. Anybody that's got questions about the courses can email us at transcribers@nfb.org or call the NFB number 410-659-9314 and use extension 2510. Anybody that thinks that they might be interested should really check it out, because Braille production entities are always looking for good people to do this really rewarding work. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jennifer. And as a matter of fact, we're looking for someone to help with this work. So, so if you're looking for a career opportunity in that regard, we have an opening. Thanks, Jennifer. Pam, do we have other questions?
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Our next question is related to the question that what you talked about a little bit earlier. And the question is, why don't we bring a lawsuit against the airlines regarding accessibility of the form to bring guide dogs on planes?
Well, it's always a tricky question. I don't think the form is bad enough to bring a lawsuit over. We've told them how to fix it, and we, you know, with all of our lawsuits, when we find inaccessibility, we always give entities a chance to fix it. Some people think we jump right to suing. It doesn't happen. We invite people to fix it first. Secondly, the law is tricky in this space as it relates to this issue. So our advocacy strategy at this point is to encourage the airlines not to require blind people traveling with guide dogs to use the form. But we're optimistic that the Department of Transportation will get the form done right, even if it takes a while.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. And our next question is related to Washington Seminar. And when will information be posted about the issues, and how can people access that?
The issues. Well, we're not ready to reveal the issues yet. You know, it's a changing landscape. We're continuing to evaluate the situation in Congress. We have them outlined, and we're planning to talk about the issues later this week with our affiliates, but we're not quite ready strategy-wise to talk about all of the issues and what they're going to be. We will do plenty of training with folks on the issues. I think last year, beyond the Washington Seminar issues, we had another, I don't know, dozen plus federal issues we were working on. So strategically, it's always tricky to make sure we get the right ones into the Washington Seminar based on the strategy. So they will be coming out soon. Information will be on the web. We'll be disseminating it. There will be trainings. It's coming. I know you're eager. You will not hit these meetings ill-prepared. Trust me.
Okay, great. And our next question is related to how can someone obtain a copy of the Code of Conduct?
Well, the Code of Conduct, as I noted, will be, it's in the January Monitor, which is out now. You can get it there. It is on every page of the Federation's website, nfb.org. If you go to your links list and hit C, you'll get to the code of conduct. It's on every single page of our website. You can't miss it. You can go there, you can read the code. You can also link to the form to fill out if you do have a grievance to file. And very soon we will likely be posting an FAQ that answers some more questions about the code of conduct process. I say very soon, maybe, because we actually have it drafted, but since we have onboarded RAIN to look at the process end to end, in consulting them, we may decide not to put up the information about the current code, only because it's likely to change over the next 6 months. But go to nfb.org, read it, understand it. If you have questions, you can send an email to code@nfb.org, and our staff or a member of the Code of Conduct Committee would be happy to answer your questions if you just have questions about the code. And the code applies to all NFB members, employees, contractors, and it applies throughout every affiliate and national division. Every member of the organization is covered by the code.
Okay, great. Thank you. Another question we had involves any updates for NFB Newsline.
Well, we do have a couple of new publications on NFB Newsline, so I don't have those right here in front of me, but we're always adding new things to Newsline. Hopefully folks have had the opportunity to try out the new version of the mobile app and give feedback on that. Aren't any other major breaking news items for Newsline right now that I think of, but you can always check out the Newsline online section of our website to get updates as well.
Okay, question concerning fitness accessibility. Many fitness products and machines are not accessible. Any updates on our work in that arena?
So it's a great question as I sit here with my Fitbit, wondering how many more steps I need to get to 10,000 today. We're continuing to work on this space. We are working with some other partners who are doing outreach to fitness facilities, and our Blindness Initiatives Department is taking the lead on reaching out to certain manufacturers. As you should know, we've been trying to get a legislation passed to create standards in this area, and we do intend to keep pushing that in the new Congress. We're also very hopeful now that we have a blind person who's leading the United States Access Board that will have another very strong voice in the mix with the fitness facilities and the manufacturers to start building in more and more accessibility. And you're seeing it happening in some places with audio description being included. We don't have any specific updates in that area, but I would encourage you, if you have a product you're interested in using, to write a letter to the manufacturer, and feel free to copy our advocacy and policy team on that letter so we can continue to track the companies that are being outreached to. And of course, our sports and recreation division at the national level is a great resource in this area as well.
Okay, and we had a question concerning our monitoring of Uber and Lyft, and if we are still engaged in that process and how what's happening in that area.
Yeah, well, Uber and Lyft, we're continuing to monitor them in at least an informal way. We're continuing to try to negotiate with both of these rideshare entities, and we're considering our options in terms of going to court to really get strong enforcement with both of these entities. They both look at the issue of equal access differently. We have varying relationships within each of those entities, but equal access and rideshare, both from the accessibility side of the app to equal access for individuals using guide dogs is a top priority for us. You will definitely see more about this in 2021.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, President Riccobono. And if there are any questions or other information that we did not have a chance to follow up on this evening, our communications team will be following up with everybody. Thank you again, everyone who submitted questions via chat and in other forms. We greatly appreciate it. And I will turn it back over to you, President Riccobono.
Thank you, Pam. In closing the first presidential release of 2021 on this World Braille Day, I do want to note that we will be having an NFB Bell in-home edition this summer again, and information about that will be coming very soon. But I thought it was most fitting to kick off 2021 to, as we move forward, to hear the voices of some of our Bell in-home edition students from 2020, giving us some of the customary endings. So I wish everybody a fantastic year. In 2021, we're going to go get it done together, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to do together. Let's go build the National Federation of the Blind.
What's the cat's favorite color?
I don't know. What?
Purple. One plate to the other plate.
What?
Jenna is on me.
Why was the broom late for work? Because it overswept.
What's a whale's favorite game?
What?
Swallow the leader.
The preceding message was brought to you by Mark Riccobono, President, National Federation of the Blind. Office of the President at nfb.org, 410-659-9314, www.nfb.org. Let's go build the National Federation of the Blind.